This is Mike Huntington with Mid-Valley Healthcare Advocates, giving a brief tutorial on editing the Mid-Valley Healthcare website. This is in Squarespace. There's a previous video that talks about the basics of editing this, but we would start by reviewing just one aspect of that, and that is how to add content to a page. For example, we've been wanting to have the lawn signs evident for people to ask for, so I'm going to go into the editing mode and put a little invitation over here to come get lawn signs. So we would go to the editing mode, which I talked about in the last video, and you would have to have ID and a password for that, but I can give that to you. And you would come to this page, which is the editing view of what we just looked at a minute ago, and it has these pages that you can edit over here. So this is the home page, and this is where we wanted to add a little picture of the lawn sign. And this has two sections, actually three. You can edit the banner way up here, and it says header content edit. We don't usually need to do that. Then there's the next section, which is page content, and usually you can edit anything under that page content, but for some reason this home page has most of it in a footer, which is usually the bottom, but this happens to be the lower 2/3 of the page. So home footer content, that's where we'll add that picture of the lawn sign. So we'll say edit. We already said edit. And we want to add a picture. And I'll go to my files to find one. I click on upload an image, and I'll look for one of those lawn signs. So here's one, and so it's loading it up. It has to be a JPEG, can't be a PDF, a JPEG or equivalent. PNG is another format. So there it has come, and so I will say apply down here. Can you see that down here? Yeah, apply. And then write a caption. Ask for a lawn sign at MVHCA.org. So we'll go ahead, and it's good to save things frequently so you don't lose track. So you go up here to that save, and now we've displaced one of these, and I'll need Kelsey's help to figure out how to line these up if we want to, or arrange them differently. But so I'm going to bring the regular unedited page back, and in order to see what we've done, we have to go up here and refresh. Can you see where my arrow is up here? Refresh the main page and see if it comes up. Yeah. So now we have a way of inviting people to come get lawn signs. If they go to we need to say info@mvhca.org. So we'll go back and put that in there. Need to say edit again. look at info at MVHCA.org and save that. And we can assign who that info at MVHCA goes to. Right now it comes to me. I think it was going to Mark before at one time. So we're back where we want to be. Make sure it's all saved. It looks like we've saved it. And now we'll swing this uneditable page, the one that public sees, and we will see that the old, we don't have the info at there, so we go up and refresh the page and it should appear then, info at mvhca.org. So that's just a refresher on how to edit a page. And this page, okay, the home page, you can find the editable places by clicking on these this main navigation, and this is a page that you can edit. So you click on that and it comes up with all these little buttons that will allow you to edit. So you can see that we've kept our new addition there. So the next step is if we want to control the calendar. So I'll bring the public page back here, and you can see there's events, upcoming events, and you can see we just yesterday added this. Normally we'd want a couple of weeks ahead of time, inviting people to a rally Monday night, that's tomorrow, at 4:30 in the afternoon. So we want to keep that current, and we want to show past events, but we also want a calendar. And so this is the calendar that I just completed that has our meetings for Mid-Valley. It's communications, and we need to add communications, outreach and communications. So this will be an exercise. We'll look at the editable page now under events, calendar. Here's the calendar, and it's got the board meeting lined up, and got the wrong time there. I have to edit that. That's the advocates meeting. That should be 7 p.m. And we need to add the outreach and communications meeting here. So here's the calendar again. We need 2 edits here, and I have this calendar in sync with my personal calendar. So anyone who wants to edit this, who has editing privileges, can go to their own calendar, a Google Calendar that is, and so I'm going to pull up my regular calendar, which is synced with Google, and it's got lots of things besides Mid-Valley, but events, but the Mid-Valley events are marked with red dots. So we want to include, first of all, let's edit this time for the Mid-Valley regular meeting. That should be 7 p.m. So click that, and that should correct that. And you want to make sure it's all events, because these are repetitive events. For example, this was every 4th Monday, so you want that timing to change for all of them into the future over the next year. So you click all. Now let's go over and add outreach and communications meeting. and that will be November 19th from 2 to 4, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And it does repeat, so you need to click here and do a custom repeat. It would be monthly on the third Thursday of the month. So then you click OK and mark it with red, because at least in my calendar that's how I mark them. So we've added outreach and communications. So we should be able to see that in December. There it is on the 17th, January on the 21st, and so on. So we've accomplished that, and let's see if it's reflected in the public calendar. We will have to notice that there's nothing on the 19th here, and if I refresh now, let's see if it brings it up. No, it doesn't. And it didn't. Yeah, it did change the timing here though. So we'll go back here and see what we did wrong with the 19th. Here's outreach in December, and in November it's the 19th. And I gotta make sure it's the right color. Mid-Valley, 2 to 4 p.m. repeats every month on third Thursday. So I'm not sure why that doesn't carry over. I'll get out of this and just double check my Google Calendar. So Google Calendar is, I can get to it here. You go to all the various functions of Google, you click on those little 9 boxes and you find Google Calendar. There it is. Okay, so the Outreach Committee did reach the Google Calendar, and we'll just refresh it to make sure that it's still there. And I'm hoping now that's the editable, that's the Google Calendar, but here's the public Mid-Valley website. There, it took that time. So don't be discouraged if things don't work the first time. Just go back through the routine again and see if you can make it happen. So now the little detail about if you're establishing one of these calendars for the first time, and in order to create a calendar like this, there has to be a separate page for it. So we're down in the main navigation page or column, and every one of these larger headings is the same as one of these tabs up here. So like persuasive articles is here, and tell your story is here, and events is here. So here's calendar is under events, and when somebody constructed this website, there was just a blank page there, but they created a calendar by embedding a Google Calendar on that page, and that's how we ended up with this format. You have to do a little research on how to find the right code to embed, but you would just Google Squarespace and Google Calendars or something on that order, and it will tell you how to create a calendar like this, just the format for it. Then once you have your own calendar like we were looking at a minute ago, I'll look at it again. Here's the calendar, and you identify events that are on your calendar that are specific for Mid-Valley. Then you identify them with a red dot like these. And then the others, like all these others that are not related to Mid-Valley or not related to a large number of Mid-Valley members, are in other colors. So then when you go to Google Calendars, we'll go there again. You can choose which of those colors you want to show up for the Mid-Valley website. Here's all my other appointments, to the doctor or to other organizations or somebody's birthday or a holiday. But for Mid-Valley, we don't want those. We don't want reminders. We don't want holidays. We just want things that we have tagged specifically to Mid-Valley Healthcare Advocates. So that's what's on here now. Then, as I mentioned, you can go to the websites and Google syncing your Google Calendar with a Squarespace calendar, and it will show up this way. Or since almost all of these are repeating, you can just start with a blank Google Calendar and just enter them. What's a total of maybe 15 entries, and then you make them all repeating, and so that you don't have to redo that for each month. So either way, you can construct a calendar. You just have to have the editing privileges, and everybody who's probably looking at this does have those editing privileges. So that's all for now. This is Mike Huntington signing off on how to edit the Mid-Valley website, and in particular, how to edit the calendar. Thanks. Bye.